Welcome back to another portfolio update video, and it's changed a lot since the last one I did, which was about 15 days ago. And yeah, it's going to be very interesting to show you how it's all changed and what's been going on, because obviously the DeepSeek situation was huge. A lot of market cap was shaved off Nvidia, which was mental. And yeah, what does that mean for Palantir? I believe it's going to be a very good news for Palantir. As Alex Karp even said, it's what you build on top of the LLMs. So Palantir ended up having a good response to it, to be honest with you, compared to obviously Nvidia and AMD and all those chip manufacturers. And yes, I've also got a well requested option, because I know a lot of people want to know what I'm buying, what I'm selling, and I've now got a thing now in real time where I will share with you if I buy a stock, when I buy a stock, or when I sell a stock, or even crypto. It'll be in a Discord channel and it is privated, so whenever you do buy the membership to support me on the YouTube channel, it will then allow you to see my buy and sells if you were interested in seeing that before the portfolio video updates come out. I've made the membership at an affordable price, less than a coffee, $1.99 a month, and you then get to see, like I say, my buy and sells at real time of what stocks I buy and sell. It will be a screenshot of how many shares I've bought and also the position currently of that position. So yeah, hopefully that's something you guys will enjoy. It will help me with the channel, it will support me, and yeah, it will be much appreciated. And I thought it's just a good way of giving back of like what I'm up to as well, because I know a lot of people like to see that and request that in real time. If you also want to just join the Discord in general, click the link in the description, and we always talk about the stocks, the earnings, and it's a very good channel that we've built and a good community we've built, and that's all free, so link in the description. So the first stock, we have got AMD, and as you can tell, I've only got like £4 in this, and it's only because I have got this just to share with you what I would buy if I didn't have any, like, let's say I was starting fresh in the stock market and I didn't have current stocks at the moment, I would then buy AMD. I would be buying it up, but to be honest with you, even now down 5%, I'll be averaging in and I'll be buying more. That's what I personally would do if I was not having any stocks to hold. And the reason why I've not bought into AMD is because I want to have a smaller allocation to stocks and be able to use my money and build my money faster and quicker by having a smaller amount of stocks and just having, let's say, 20 different stocks. If once I start becoming and getting more money, then I would start distributing it and having more stocks instead of having, the smallest picks that I've got at the moment. But because I'm trying to build the wealth and accelerate it, I'm going into stocks that I believe will do well, and just having a larger amount of money in that, because there's no point having, like I had Apple before, there's no point having $1,000 in Apple, because even if it doubled, which it will double in years to come, that's only $2,000. So obviously if you were to buy into it then every month, then that would work out well. But what I'm trying to say is like, the smaller amount of allocation I can get into companies, the bigger hopefully the growth I can become. Yes, that comes with risk, because you're risking the fact that them companies do well, so you do have that risk. Whereas if you were having loads more companies, then you've got, if that one doesn't do well, then you've got the others to kind of do better. And that's why ETFs are a thing. So if you are new and don't want to research and get into stocks and constantly be looking at what's happening in the news, S&P 500 is probably the best bet to do. I think the forward P ratio is about 22. The price to sales is about, I believe, 7 or 8. Fubo stock. So we've had a good run with Fubo at the moment. It's cooled off now with the news, obviously, with the acquisition from Disney. Fubo's got a lot more to come, in my opinion. Don't quote me on that, and don't go out and buy this stock. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just what I'm doing. I'm sharing with you guys. But I think Fubo now, with the deal with Disney, and I think that's what a lot of people are now waiting on, is what that earnings is going to be like. And I believe their earnings are in March, beginning of March. And I'll be intrigued to know how they're going to start becoming profitable and what's the profitability going to be like in this company. Because once that's happening, the share price is going to go a bit crazy, because obviously the price to earnings isn't going to be that. It's going to be more like, well, obviously depending on the EPS, we obviously can't tell what the price to earnings is going to be, but depending on what the earnings per share is going to be like, $4 is going to look very cheap. We need to see what the profitability will be like, and I think that's what a lot of people are waiting on. But obviously there's people buying into the situation of the fact that Venue Sports from Disney is going to be part of Fubo. Well, their valuation off the top of my head was like 27 billion. So a lot of people are also pricing in that way. The fact that the market cap of Fubo is 1.3, it just shows there could be a lot of growth coming with Fubo. So that's why I'm holding on tight with Fubo. Grab. So Grab is a lovely stock to hold, in my opinion, for me anyway. They've got a lot of cash, about 5-6 billion in cash. That's growing, the debt's going down, so everything's positive in that sense. The growth is very strong in Grab, and I'm just looking forward to the share price, not the share price, that's the wrong thing, the earnings, in the up and coming earnings, to see how much they are growing. I think Grab is going to be one of those where it moves a lot more off the earnings. I don't think it's going to be that stock that people get hyped up about, because that's the thing as well with stocks, is obviously they trade off their earnings. That is what they are trading off. But you do get some stocks that are trading on just a bit more hype as well in the community. I think that's a really solid stock, and I bought more shares of this. I think 400 more shares. Nike, this is another stock that I would hold, like same again with AMD, if I didn't have any, so I would be averaging it into Nike. That's something I would personally be doing. So yeah, we're pretty much break even on Nike at this moment in time. Palantir, $80. I wonder what this is going to be like when it comes to earnings. Like I said, I personally, if I had to do a prediction, I do think we're going to see quite a big downside with Palantir with the earnings. It depends on how they do with earnings, obviously, in the sense of growth wise. What are they going to be growing at? Are they going to be growing at 30%, 32%, 35%, or maybe 40%? And what's the guidance going to be like? But I think if they're going to be growing at 30%, it's going to be a downside. That's a good thing if they're growing at that, but just because of how richly valued it is, it will see a tumble. And yeah, but then at the same time, like I said to you guys, I was prepared for this to go in half, but it stayed in the 70s and 80s for it feels like 2 months now or so. So Palantir's done very, very, very well for holding these prices, but yeah, earnings is going to be a very interesting one. And the reason why I'm holding Palantir, it's just a long-term hold for me, and if it goes to the price I want it to be, I'll buy more. And another thing that's good with Palantir is the fact that Elon Musk is very interested with Palantir. I'm not saying this is like a massive big thing, but I think it personally is, because obviously the power that Elon Musk holds and the vision that he has as a person. Well, he followed them on X. He's been in meetings and been chatting with Alex Karp, and I've just put a thing on screen of him replying back to one of Palantir's tweets. So yeah, I just thought I'd put that out there just for you guys to know. It's just a little something. PayPal, next one, 119 shares. This has been going lovely and smoothly for me. I bought this at $52. I saw it was very undervalued, still is undervalued, a lot more growth to come, and I'm looking forward to the earnings with PayPal as well, because I think we'll start seeing those the earnings per share, that growth, it's going to start looking good with the new CEO. And yeah, I'm intrigued to know how it's going to go. SoFi, so they've reported earnings. It looked very good. They beat on both the EPS and the revenue. But the thing that people aren't happy with is the guidance that they've set. And SoFi is known to kind of sandbag the kind of guidance. They always do. So, and then they always either sometimes triple beat or just normally beat their earnings. And I think that's fine. Like, the guidance is fine. We all know how much SoFi is going to grow. We've seen it from the previous quarters of how much they are growing. I think it's just a kind of an opportunity to just buy up the shares, because if they reported good guidance, this would have been going to $20 odd a share. So it just gives us a bit of time for me to buy up even more shares. I've got 1,000 shares, which I wanted. And yeah, it's just a good thing that we got more of an opportunity to keep buying. We could see this go to $12 or below, but I was even buying it at 17 because I still like the price at 17. because I feel like this has got a lot to do, a lot of growth in SoFi. In previous videos I've shared like kind of like my breakdown of where I think SoFi could go as a bullish case. They've also had 2 price targets and they're both been $20. I'll put them on screen here and you can search them up and see them names and see why they've given that price target of $20. So yeah, we're up 50%. Obviously my average has gone way up. Before I was on $7 a share average, now we're nearly at 11, but that's fine. Like, that's the whole point. I want to start having more in these positions than just like showing, oh my god, I'm up 300%. Like, I'll rather have more money in it than, do you know what I mean, have that crazy kind of gain, because you can have more exposure to the company and also have more gains through that way. Because Palantir, that's one thing I regret, not buying more, and I don't want to have that regret with SoFi. Tesla's got earnings today as I'm recording this video, so I'm intrigued to know how this is going to go, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. And the thing is with Tesla, it's just one of those where we've got to kind of wait it out until it becomes not a car company, because everyone's talking it's a car company. Obviously there's people that aren't, hence why it's this price at the moment, because people are valuing the fact that it's going to be got the Optimus robots and also the self-driving, so fully self-driving, so, and the robo-taxis, all of the things they've got, to be honest with you, going on. So yeah, Tesla's a great one to have in my opinion. Obviously not financial advice, but if there's stocks that are, I've always said this in my channel, if there's stocks overvalued that I don't really want to be buying at the moment, i.e. if I don't want to be buying more Grab, which I do want to buy more Grab by the way, I'd be buying Tesla. If there was no other options, I'll just be chucking it into Tesla at these prices. I've turned on my net deposits so you can see how much I've actually put in to the stock market. Max, we're up 325%, and in the month we're up 3%, and the week we are down. So yeah, that's my, well actually my total portfolio is £77,876, and yeah, it's grown dramatically. If you did enjoy this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you're brand new, and if you do want to check out that membership option for $1.99, helps support the channel, and it just allows me to do this hopefully one day full time. Alongside that, with the membership, obviously you'll see the buys that I actually bought, so you'll see all that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.